I'm back. So I have taken the last few days to just sit in the silence of it all. I don't really have words, so it's hard to purge without the words, right? So I've just been like only speaking when necessary and chopping wood, carrying water, right? And really enjoying the time with my daughter. I'll start there, right? Because like I always feel this push for the more, right? And it's my Sparta year. I'm going to create more business. I'm going to create different streams of income. I'm going to get more disciplined. I'm gonna like get to work and be what was the word? Disciplined. It was like disciplined, organized, do all the things that this girl is just going to annoy me. It's going to do its own thing. Do all the things that social media is always like telling us we got to do, and like make money and capitalist country and keep pushing, and the more, right? The more it's a built-in system. It's a built-in system. Being human is the work of the more, right? Always desiring, well, the what's next. Or I don't know, I heard it put in a show that I've been watching, everything fades, right? Like you climb one mountain and the gusto, the euphoria, the joy of like, look at what I did and look at how far I've come, like it will fade, and you'll look up to the next mountain like, well, now that one. And that's just a human quality, right? And so I've been really reassessing like, well, what is this driving for more that I'm like, what's my more right now? And pulling from different things that have happened over the month and what I'm receiving in meditation and the prompting, it's like, sorry, it was so silent here, and then all of a sudden these messages start coming through. Isn't that always the case, right? But what was coming through was like, what if the more wasn't a physical more, like a tangible out there more? What if the more was in here, in the being, and in the slowing down and resting enough to be able to be present? What if the more is in my more calm for my nervous system, more peace for my nervous system, more more being, more being okay with everything that is as it is, more being with everything as it is without needing to fix it or change it. Or and what if the discipline was in that, was in knowing that by design, by my design, the more is inevitable. The more out there is inevitable. Because I am a crazy conscious creator that speaks things into existence. Like, I mean, right? And I live in these old paradigms of old belief systems. And what if in the more is in releasing those old stories, in releasing the old stories and centering in the new story and speaking life into those stories, into what's the real for me now. And the real for me now is like, I get to enjoy really slow mornings with my daughter. I get to really be present with, what do we want to do today? And it doesn't look glamorous, right? Like it doesn't look like, oh, I have the Chanel bag, and because that's, for me, that's not what the more is about. for other people, it is. That's what the more is about. And God bless them, right? To each his own on their journey. That's another really big thing that's been like settling in me, is like we all speak in absolutes, in like these absolute truths that are, it's like, well, it's for everyone. Like, and it's not, like, just the way every snowflake is different, right? Our fingerprints are different. Like, our mores are different. And now we're just all here to discover our own. And what's good for me in this moment is not necessarily for you. And the thing for me is to develop, to continue to develop, to continue to strengthen my own, sensing, intuitiveness in my connection to divine source, and knowing, well, what's good for me right now. And there's been a great humbling. I've been walking through this like ego death over this past week, like super ego death of like how insignificant I really am and how small I really am, and how my human mind is always trying to categorize and label, and my ego is always trying to, I don't know, I get the vision of like holding up the sword, right? Like my ego always has his sword up, like I'm going to fight this to the end, and because I'm going to keep my name safe, and I'm the grand one, right? Like it's a narcissist. My ego's a narcissist. I've been reading the story of Narcissus, and like sitting with that, like what's here for me. So I haven't purged anything, because I know nothing. I know nothing. And just when I think like, oh, I've got a little something figured out, the rug gets pulled out from underneath me, and I go tumbling down and crying, and you know, with the brokenness of it, the feeling broken, right? Words are difficult. Words not describing all the thoughts, the knowings, the wisdom, it gets difficult for me. But so in all that, I've been like in prayer mode, and like show me what this sacred rage is for me. This in the fight that I got into, and in the rage that came up in me with my brother, and it was like, he is by far my greatest teacher in life. And I feel like I say that about all the men, and my son's father is as well. But my brother's been around longer, so I've been, these people that really polish me, right? They really are the sandpaper in my life that keep me coming back to they keep me turning in. Like, what's here for me? So it was like, we had reached this new plateau of like being there, and then all this stuff comes up, and I had to really like sit with, is this something I want to keep feeding? Where's the grace? Where do I have grace for him and grace for me, with also the strength of like, and no more, with love, with so much love. I release you. And I feel like I'm constantly releasing him, and now our relationship has gone back to being like weird, and he's not really talking to me, and I'm like, all right, well, what's the gift in this? And it hurts so bad. And it's like, all right, well, what's the gift in this, right? And just not knowing and trusting in God even when I don't know, and trusting in God not to get my way, or not to evade punishment or something bad happening, but just like trusting in God with the love of like, I've been seen through so many things in life. This will be no different. This will be no different. And what can I get this time to be, I'm just like super removed from family, from friends. And what's the gift in this? Like, what? I'm developing this stronger relationship with God's source, Mother, Father, Creator, and with myself. And I get to like just play with my daughter and not be rushing in life from one thing to the next. Hurry up, we have to get to daycare. And hurry up, we have to get to the extracurricular thing. And hurry up, like we just chill. And I started thinking about what that, you guys remember that reading I told you about, the Mrs. Honeybee, when she said like the ancestors are like, girl, like from their perspective, like I've succeeded, like just chill and enjoy it. So I've really been taking that to heart and being like, there's such a freedom in my existence that I so often like convolute for the sake of relatability. And what would it be like for me if I didn't? And I've been practicing that, not just, so every day I've just been chilling and doing what needs to get done, and the prompting, like I'm still doing my occult school, and I've been posting these things on YouTube. Well, I even paused that because I just feel like everything came to a pause because I had to die a little bit. Was the dropping in also, thank you guys for following along with all my randomness, because I know I jump from one place to the next place to the next place. So like, God bless you if you're following. Like, thank you. The dropping in of God's love. Like, I've really been sitting with like, what is God's love, right? It's I used to think it was this like mystical, extraordinary thing, and God's love feels super ordinary nowadays. Like, and what does that even mean? And it's like everything sort of became God's love. Like, there is no absence of. And then I was like scared to speak that out loud to anybody, which is another reason why I haven't been talking to nobody, is because I've really been like, there is no absence of. Like, people say, there's God's love and there's the absence of it. How could that even be? How could anything be in the absence of God's love? Maybe I need like a scientist to come and like show me like, well, here is the absence of God's love. Because if we're talking about things that we call evil or dark or demonic or low vibrational, like whatever that is, where people are like, oh, the pain and the suffering, and I'm like, yeah, that's God's love too. It's not the glory that happens after you get through the pain or the hardship or the evil or the demonic. Like, again, now we're just labeling what feels good God's love, but God's love is greater than our like feeble minds can even comprehend. And we're just little humans. We're like little ants trying to make sense of like the grandest thing, and we make sense of it for what suits us, right? Like for what we like. Like, those are intrusive thoughts. I don't like those. That's not God's love. That was evil, and that's not love. That was demonic. I don't like that. No, that's God's love too. All of it's God's love. And really like So from that space, from everything is God's love. And then a friend was like, no, there's high vibe and low vibe, and like the scale. Have you guys ever seen that like diagram of the scale of like shame is down here and guilt is here, and like those are low vibes, and then like love is up here and compassion, whatever is on the high vibe scale. I don't even know. But I'm like, well, that's man-made, right? To describe something. So that scale went from being vertical to horizontal to me. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like there's no like higher, lower. There's no like good or bad. It all just is. Like a holographic reality. It all just is. And sometimes we're here and sometimes we're here. Sometimes we're here and sometimes we're here. But it's all God's love. It's all beautiful. And then I was sitting today like trying to put words, like, what is this, God? Like, what? And all these beautiful synchronicities continue to occur in my life. Like a teacher that I used to work with, I don't know, over a decade ago, sent me an email. I haven't received one of her emails in forever. And she sent me an email, and it was about anger and like the gifts of anger. And I was like, oh my God, I've just been sitting with like rage, and like, how is this divine rage like really working for me? And how do I use this? Because the rage feels old and like sacred. It doesn't feel like rage on the scale that's like low. Like, you're angry, that's like a low vibe. Like, you have to like, no, it feels like glorious. I know. Rage, glorious, what? And not from an ego like, yeah, bitch, like, no, it's something else. The rage is something else. The rage is a like, enough. That's a different, a rage is like, for the Bible people, when Jesus went into I think he was in like a synagogue, and he flipped the tables over and was like, you guys are not going to turn my father's house into a house of whatever. I'm not biblical, but I remember that story. And it's like that, like the flipping of the table, like the enough. We're not, it's that, right? And said friend was like, but we're to be like Jesus and like walk on water and all these things. And I was like, I don't know. Jesus was also crucified. Like, he carried his cross. He had what we call suffering, but he didn't suffer in it. He just walked through it, right? Like, so I was sitting with it today, like, okay, what else am I downloading here? Like, what else is this? And like, what goddess can help me better understand this? And I pulled one of my cards, and I'm gonna butcher her name, Aquilanda. And underneath her name, and she stands there with this like bright aura around her. The top of her head is kind of like fading, and one of her boobs is showing and the other one is covered, and you see cracks all over her. And underneath her name it says like, never not broken. And I was like, that never not broken. And in the description of it and in the medicine of it, it's like finding God in all the spaces that we try to avoid, knowing that that's what we're here for. And when you're never not broken, there's no fear in breaking. And to me, it was so resonant with what I've been feeling. I just want to like hold the card with me and invite that archetype like into my, like every cell of my body. Like I want to hold that in every cell of my body, never not broken. I will for always, I will for always be broken. And like literally, right? Like in this space-time continuum, in this life that I'm living according to, you know, normal means and being disabled, and I will never not be broken. There always will be a part of me that's not working. And I, you know, people don't understand when I'm not like fighting to fix it. And I'm not like knocking down all the doctor's doors and trying everything to like change it. It is so hard. Every day is full of its challenges, being one-handed. But I'm never not broken. Which, on my good days when I'm not being narky, really allows me to see like the most divine in all the brokenness around me. You know, until I'm not getting my way, and then I'm like, wow. Oh, I was talking to another friend and same thing, right? Like, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm all judgy about motherfuckers, but then when I'm not like, because I'm not getting my way, and I'm like, oh, they're like this and they're like that, and then when I'm not getting my way, I'm like, meh, meh, meh. And it's like, get a grip, Thelma. Just get a grip. It's not that serious. You're not that serious. Life is not that serious. Like, and on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, when I was having like the God is everything, I watched these two movies, and one was of a mother's love, man. And fuck, I adore women and their strength, right? Like women are like beasts, especially when it comes to like people, they're babies. Like, women are beasts. You can't stop a woman. You can't. And you couldn't stop this mom. She was like doing everything and anything for her son, because he had cerebral palsy, and she felt it was her fault, and whatever, it was layered, but it was like, man, that's love. And look at the suffering that this mother's going through, right? So that like really gave me a perspective on like God's love. And then the movie following that one was Matthew McConaughey, something like a Free Jones, the Free Man in Jones County, something like that. And it was like this man that was like, enough with this war. I will not be killing other people's sons and killing myself. I don't even own slaves. Like, what is this about? I'm not doing this anymore. And like the love that he had for his brethren, for his people. And like he befriended slaves, and he's like, we're all niggas out here fighting for this white man. Like, are you kidding me? It was just so good. It was like, and that's like, you know, the lunar love and the solar love and the electric love and the magnetic love, and like all of it was just so yummy. And I was like, and I'm sitting here complaining because my right arm's paralyzed, or because I didn't get what I thought I wanted, or what I deserved, or he didn't pay me back, or he didn't do this, or he's blah, 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 and like getting, well, and it's like, Mama, shut up. Because they didn't live up to what I think is right, because this is love and that's not love, and you know, shut up, Thelma. It was so good. And then it's such a blessing when you do have people that you can talk to about the things and they get you know, because I had this like really, the next day it was just the contrast of it, right? One friend that was like not getting me at all. Like, she really thinks like high vibe is high vibe, and pain is just what you're going through to get to God's glory. And then my other friend who was like, oh, thumbs, yeah. Like, I get the depth of that, and just the contrast of that, right? And I'm just grateful that some people get me, and they understand my my flavor of crazy. But yeah, so I'm going to keep sitting with this, and I'm going to keep inviting. I'm going to mess up her name. I should have brought I'm going to grab the card real quick. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. Aquilanda, the goddess of the never not broken. Everything happens from my liberation. I choose to become only more love. See. And I'll hold this one close to me. And continue to let it all drop in and continue to die this death and surrender anything that I think I know and continue to move in beginner's mind and to continue to learn and rest. Rest is a fucking revolution. Like, yeah. Continue to rest and take inspired actions and remember that I have everything I need in every moment. You know, and not just saying that, but like literally, like, bills are paid, food's in the fridge. Like there's nothing to chase but the chase, right? The always more, but this and but that. Like, yeah, I got it. I want those things, and being good with just what is right now and enjoying it. So I'm going to enjoy the silence that I have for the rest of the night. And yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for witnessing. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.